Hey everyone, Michael Tiny Saul. It is Wednesday, June 1st at 10:15 p.m. This is Forex Trading Analysis for Thursday, June 2nd, 2011. The Euro trade, we did not enter the Euro trade and didn't get to our limit anyway. Probably if I would have just used this level, we could have leaned into it, but I wanted to give it a little bit of slippage here because the euro has been acting a little stair-steppy, and I figured maybe we would get it on a wholesale price if it poked through, but never happened, and this was canceled in the morning anyway when it did not trigger overnight. So let's look at all the pairs and crosses on the list here. The euro looks like it could be in a inverted head and shoulders, or beginning to develop, I should say, right? Here's the left shoulder, here's the head. If this forms the right shoulder, could be an inverted head and shoulders pattern, but we have to wait and see on that one for a little bit. Top side resistance on the short term is 45.67 to 45.84. And on the downside, we have this moving average here to watch as potential support. That is 42.39. The Aussie dollar, okay, consolidating more than anything here, watching this for a sideways congestion pattern. We'll get rid of the Fibonacci grid. So if we can get a nice sideways consolidation here, we could watch that for a potential break one way or the other, and see if we could get an entry either on the long side or short side, depending on which way it decided to break. Here is the yen, okay? And you can see the yen has been holding these lows here for now. Don't really have a pattern yet. It's right on the moving average, so this is kind of trading down to an equilibrium level here. Here is the Swiss franc, and the Swiss franc had that ugly candle, and then a little 2-bar reprieve, and then another ugly candle in Wednesday's session outside the Keltner channel here. So looking for this to get back inside the Keltner, but you could see that doesn't mean we can't get multiple runs outside that the lower Keltner or the higher Keltner for that matter. Here is the dollar CAD, aka the loonie. Look at this break out of this consolidation and then a whip right back up into it. Real aggravating here. Of course, if you're a short-term trader, then this was a nice trade, but if you're looking for a bigger swing, this is nothing but aggravation here. So you got to be careful when the market acts that way, and sometimes it's better just to step back and let the dust settle and look to find a defined trend that you can look for pullbacks or rallies if it's a downtrend. Okay, here is a euro pound cross. All right, nothing really going on there. Here is the euro Swiss cross, and you can see here, I was looking at this wedge last week. It broke lower out of the wedge, tried to get back up, and then Wednesday, boom. So looking for consolidation in Thursday's session there. Here is the Euro Aussie. And the Euro Aussie is interesting to me because the way it's setting up here, it looks like it wants to get back this entire ugly candle from a few weeks back. But right now, it's basically a few ticks away from the midpoint, which looks to be about 35.64. So once it gets to that midpoint, that's the strongest part of the tall candle's resistance. Is 50% lower for a tall dark candle. Tall white candle, the strongest support is the top half. All right, so watching this one right here, because it looked like, hey, let's consolidate, let's try to break and offset this. But if it stalls at the 50% of this candle, then we can watch that for a potential short side entry for a move back down to at least the moving average that we're watching, which is the Keltner moving average. Here's the Euro Kiwi, and this one looks like it's headed for the mid-band, the moving average there as well. Here's the pound. The pound's interesting also. I thought the pound looked like a nice possibility for a long side trade after a pause, but instead it stumbled out at the 62% retracement, came back down, watching the moving average for potential support. Here is the pound Kiwi, and the Kiwi is the nickname, by the way, for the New Zealand dollar, in case anybody doesn't know. You can see here we were watching the support level, broke down. Now we're watching the lower Keltner channel to possibly hold there. Here is the Euro-Yen cross. Okay, and the Euro-Yen, after breaking out of this consolidation, is now in yet another consolidation. All right, so this could be a mini coil that we can watch for. Here is the Swiss yen. The Swiss yen is outside the upper Keltner. And notice the Keltner doesn't really have a strong trend to it, right? Just slightly pointing up here. I'm looking for this to pull in. I don't have a trigger here, but if this forms a narrow range candle, we'll be setting that one up in tomorrow's video. Here is the Aussie dollar versus the yen. And just consolidating here, not doing much. Here is the pound yen. Okay, nothing going on there either. Here is the pound Swissy. Big candle to the downside in Wednesday's session after this little mini consolidation. Looking for a congestion pattern on Thursday. Here is the New Zealand dollar versus the Swissy. Just consolidating. Looked, hey, we're holding the moving average. Let's see if we could pop. Nope, instead we'll drop. I know I skipped the Aussie Swiss. We'll go back to that. Let's take a look at this cross, and you can see the poke outside the Keltner, and now it's consolidating here. Looks like this breakdown was a real one on this little consolidation here. And you can see tall candle, the 50% just kind of shredded through it. Didn't even give it a second look. Here is the Canadian dollar versus the Swiss franc. Okay, and this is tagging, actually, it is exceeding the 162% external retracement of this swing, but big expansion candle, watch for consolidation there. Here is the New Zealand dollar versus the Canadian dollar, and just getting back inside the Keltner here. Even after this doji, we couldn't break back down, so this could possibly form a bull flag here. Definitely one to watch. And here is the Aussie loonie, the Aussie versus the Canadian dollar. And you can see here, also trying to consolidate once again. This one is consolidated, broke a little, consolidated, broke a little, consolidating again. So if this forms an inside candle, this one will be on watch for Friday as well, even though we do have the job numbers. That being said, there still could be some really nice entries on some of these currency pairs and crosses. So that's it. I'll talk to everybody again tomorrow. Have a great trading day on Thursday.